For those of you unfamiliar with where Kirkland, Washington is on the map, let me tell you, all you need to know, we are in the dead center of where the snobbiest people in the entire Pacific Northwest live. And cars like this with 136,000 miles, people just kind of blow off as, I would never buy a car with 136,000 miles. It's just the nature of where we live. And it's too bad because a lot of people don't realize one of the great opportunities that can be found is a premier luxury car, a high performance, expensive, valuable car that's been well maintained and it's just been driven for a while. This car with 136,000 miles might be a hunk of junk, but if it's been carefully owned by somebody who can afford to upkeep the services, you're looking at a car that not only will go another 100,000 miles, but it'll do so in an extremely rewarding way and still be worth such a high percentage of what you bought it for that your cost of ownership was like nothing. And so you can go buy a cheap car and watch it depreciate the moment you drive off the lot. Or you can buy somebody's little treasure that they've pampered since it was new and have something that's state-of-the-art and chunky and loaded and fast and substantial and costs about nothing. The other thing is, a bigger car is a safer car. I'm a big believer in crash test ratings like everybody else, but when it comes down to it, if you're going to be struck by a big giant truck going 60 miles an hour, do you want to be in a big vehicle or a little vehicle? It's as simple as that. Everybody would rather be in something chunkier and more substantial than some diminutive little car. So here's this FX45. It's a 2003, first year that FX45s came out. One of the coolest sport utilities on the road. It's the same car, believe it or not, as the G35 Coupe, the G35 Sedan, and the FX35. They have nothing to distinguish one another underneath the vehicle. Same platform, same chassis, the wheelbase. Now that's between these lug nuts here and the lug nuts in the back. It's 112.2 inches on all four of the above mentioned cars. So even a G35 Coupe, which you say, oh no, that's much smaller than the FX series of cars. Nope, it's exactly the exact same car underneath. The panels on the Coupe go like this, on the sedan they go like this, and on the FX they go like this. So the FX has much more space inside, but it drives identically to the high performance G series lineup. Now in the FX, there's one thing available that's not available on any of the Gs, and that's a V8 engine, hence the name FX45. So instead of a 3.5 liter 6-cylinder engine, it has a 4.5 liter V8 engine. And with 300 plus horsepower, it's a real rocket. Also, it's easier to drive. It's very relaxed because most of the power comes at such a low RPM, and that little bit of extra weight makes it a little plushier over bumps for real world city driving. There's a lot of pluses with the FX45. The big minus was that it was $7,000 more expensive when it was new. These cars were in the upper 50s when they were new, and so not a lot of people could afford them. It again presents an interesting opportunity. You have a well-heeled owner who can afford to buy the best, they want to pamper their beauty, and when they're done with it, they still enjoy excellent resale value, so much so that they trade it in and get another one. Now here's your opportunity to get that perfect, nice, affordable merchandise for a song, really. Less than, a quarter of what this car costs new. So, if we take a look at this car, the front end of the car, the paint, everything looks nice. The bumper looks nice. The teeny tiny little rock chips in the front, but other than that, no big deal. If we take a look along the driver's side of the car, everything looks great. The chrome wheels look okay. The only holdback, and all FXs have this problem, and maybe all cars have this problem, chrome, as a rule, it's applied after the fact. The wheel's built and then the wheel is chrome. And so chrome only holds on for so long. And that is one of the realities of a car that's 10 years old, is that the chrome, these center caps have faded a bit, and then you also see some pits in the chrome around the perimeter of the outside of the wheel. Not only do all four wheels have that on this car, it's just very common on chrome wheels in general, especially on FXs. The rest of the car looks fantastic, and the chrome wheels themselves from a few feet away also look nice. You might not be able to see what I'm talking about on the video. Inside is where this car really shines. It really, truly looks immaculate. The steering wheel looks fresh and new. The seats themselves, I mean, just minuscule wear. You'll see cars on the showroom floor that people have jumped in and out of enough that have this kind of wear on the side bolster, and they're still brand new. This car has 130 plus thousand miles, and check it out. It looks absolutely fantastic. Let's unlock the door. taking a look inside the back seat, one nice touch on the FXs is most doors only open to about this point, and you really get cramped up by this wheel well. So Infiniti allowed true 90-degree access. So it's still small inside. Obviously, this isn't a big QX56, but it's roomy enough for full-size adults. I'm 6 feet tall, and I fit just fine. An added benefit on this particular car is that it has drop-down DVD. So not only can I relax with tons and tons of space, but I can relax with a movie up above as well. Now, one little note here, it says active headrest on this little tab affixed to the front headrest. What that means is on all Infinitis actually sold in 2003, they had a really groundbreaking idea that if you were ever struck from behind, it would be better if the headrest actually went up and forward to come catch your head so that your head didn't slam back against it to prevent whiplash injuries. It's a great idea, and we still use it to this day. Looking in the back, everything looks great. The bumper has just modest, tiny little scuff right here that would probably actually just rub out. The floor mats, well, it looks like they've served their purpose and died valiantly. I think it's time for a fresh new set of maybe rubber all-weather floor mats. But because it's had floor mats in the car, everything looks fantastic. In fact, the carpets in the back look like a brand new car. And then also the seats in the back look quite nice. If I come around to the passenger side, again, not a door ding to be found. This is, for a 10-year-old car with 130,000 miles, this looks a whole lot nicer than most cars we take in trade with 30,000 miles. I'll come around inside. Should have brought the key with me. There we go. Now, power seats on both sides, and everything works perfectly. There's no grumbling, no groaning. Again, a lot of times when you have a heavier driver, that weight, it's just the real world. The motor can only withstand the burden of all that weight moving around. And so the motors will get a little bit gravelly, and or they just won't work at all. Now this also has tilt telescopic steering. So how that works is, first, the tilt steering mechanism, take a look at the gauge assembly here. It goes up and down with the steering wheel, so that no matter where I am, the steering wheel never blocks my view of the gauges. Also, it has telescopic steering, so the steering comes in and out as well as up and down. What that means to me is, for people who have bad backs, one of the problems is they always have to be in a certain distance from the steering wheel, regardless of how comfortable their legs are, because they have to be able to grab the steering wheel in a comfortable manner. A lot of times, if you need to be farther back, what happens is you end up reaching way out to grab the steering wheel. Well, over a long drive, it puts a lot of burden on your lower back and makes for a very discomforting driving experience. With the FX, that telescopic steering means I can be far away from the steering wheel at first and then bring the steering wheel close to me. Again, it makes it much easier on your lower back for a long drive without affecting anything, without affecting the drive. Home link, navigation, glass moonroof, airbags everywhere, in the front, in the sides, side curtains, and then secondary side curtain airbags. So actually 8 airbags, which is unheard of for a 2003 vehicle. Tons of power, amazing handling ability, and we've got service records going back to day 1 on this car, all done here at Infiniti of Kirkland. If you have any questions at all, if you'd like more photographs, different videos, if you'd like us to film or photograph the undercarriage of the vehicle, very common for people who like us to export the car up into Canada and across the United States, we're happy to do it. If you just call me, I can do it right from my phone right then and there, so within 5 minutes you're ready to roll with all the information, photographic information. I can fax the paperwork to your office so that you can review the service history going back to day 1, whatever it is that you need. Please, my name's Joe Tunney. Don't hesitate to give me a call, 425-821-1600, or drop me an email anytime at joet@infinitiofkirkland.com.